apps for dining in?
Dina Hirschberg is in love with apps.
Having apps on my phone is basically like having a mini computer. It allows me to multitask, and it's easy to carry around. It's not as cumbersome as my laptop, and it's available all the time because that phone is with me all the time.
But are apps just another distraction, an addiction for a multitasker like Dina?
Well, oftentimes my husband says, can you put the phone away? You know, because I'm a news junkie, and I have maybe 16 different news source apps on my phone, and I can never get enough, and it drives him crazy. You know, it definitely takes away from family time, you know, in certain moments. So, and there's, you know, sometimes I'm driving and I feel like I just really want to get to that, and I know I shouldn't while I'm driving, but...
Or are they a valuable tool for everyday life?
Having apps absolutely makes me more productive because I can multitask. So I can continue working on my computer, doing whatever I'm doing, but it's also like I have a third arm that's incredibly brilliant and is providing me with extra information, too.
This is my Grocery IQ app, which is fabulous. I decide what we're going to have for dinner, and I generate a grocery list, and then when I come in the store, I have my list, and maybe everything will be here or not. If it's not, then I'm just going to generate an email and send this list directly to my husband to pick up.
They help her catch up on news.
I have maybe 16 different news source apps on my phone, and I can never get enough information, and sometimes it's Main Street news, sometimes it's entertainment news.
And now, of course, news nobody can use. I'm going to TMZ. If you need a chuckle for the day.
And they help her run her toy business.
Hi, Dina. How are you? Good, how are you?
There's something called Card Snap, where you take a photo of a business card and it automatically puts it in your contact info. I can generate an invoice directly if I'm at the store, and then from there just email it to them.
Dina estimates that she uses 20 apps a day. According to a study by Gravity Tank, a consulting firm, 29% of app users say they use 6 or more apps a day.
I think we saw people that had incorporated apps kind of more fundamentally than we thought they would have. People that were using apps to read along in church. You know, people that were using apps to figure out, to keep track of their scientific labs and experiments that they were running. People that were using apps to keep track of patients.
Even the tough financial markets of 2008-2009 don't seem to affect app sales.
We asked people a few questions about what they were spending on apps. And what we learned was that people that were more entertainment-oriented told us that they spent about $7 in the last month on apps, compared to other users who were maybe more in the $4 to $5 range. Cool.
That money may seem like peanuts, but it adds up.
But what you have to think about is those numbers over a period of a year equal about $60 to $65 per user. Our research tells us that about 75% of people, 3/4 of people that own app phones have purchased apps.
In the beginning, when I first started using apps, it's like a new toy. It's like, you know, opening presents on Christmas, you know. And before you know it, you've racked up, you know, I probably spent easily $100 before I knew it.
Apps generally cost between 99 cents and $4.99. Although there's an expensive one, Ira Pro, a surveillance app that costs $900 and allows users to monitor their home and business when they're away. The cheaper 99-cent priced apps are the most popular, and there are a fair share of apps that are free.
I made a conscious decision to only acquire the free apps. Despite my pledge, you know, if one really was calling to me, I would pay the money and get it.
The highest selling group of apps continues to be games.
I think it's about 80% of users that we profiled are using games on their phones.
Entertainment is another popular app category. Koi Pond, an app with a Zen quality, is one of the early popular entertainment apps. It costs 99 cents. By December 2008, it has been downloaded about 600,000 times.
We're just making real guesses at the numbers at this point, but it's somewhere between 800,000 and 1 million downloads that we've had over the lifespan of Koi Pond.
Apple takes 30% of sales, with 70% going to the developer.
We feel so fortunate that we were able to get in early on. We established ourselves. Nowadays, it's harder to break in with, you know, with how many applications there are in the store. It's just, the competition is so fierce.
So how do app developers set themselves apart? A company in Southern California called Metal Mobile starts a business to help developers get an edge in the app world. The application incubation company is made up of marketing consultants, designers, and developers. They work with all kinds of people trying to break into the app game and make some money.
To form a business, you have to be more than just someone who's coming up with one or two apps. And really for us, it's about working with clients. It's really about strategy and about long-term thinking. We look at every single app as a brand, as a business. Come on back, I'll show you, introduce you around to some people.
While they develop some apps in-house, the majority come from outside developers. In fact, they find a clever way to take advantage of every one of us out there who says, I've got a great idea for an app.
This is Warren over here. So we built this thing called the application incubator, and we put it out there, and we said, you know, if you have an idea, submit it to us. If we love the idea, we'll build it and we'll share the profits back with you. What was up with that?
17-year-old Alan Wright's idea catches Schwartz's attention.
I came across this one that was just a single sentence. And it stood out because it was just a single sentence in the sea of all these really complex descriptions. And it just said, I think there should be an app for those times that you don't have anyone to talk to, so you can write a note to God.
Note to God. The Note to God app lets people anonymously share their message to God with others. The app costs 99 cents, and though it isn't an immediate hit, it's gaining momentum. They also work with professional app developers who are having a hard time getting their apps noticed.
They've launched it on the App Store and they got 6 downloads. And they built a really nice piece of software, but they just don't know how to market it and they don't know how to break through.
Right now, Metal Mobile has 20 apps in the App Store, including the Tree ID app that identifies any tree anywhere in the country. The Feather Report, an app that advises how to fashionably dress for weather.
So you can use your current location or you can enter city and state. Let's just use
Their goal is to launch 1,000 apps over the next 2 years.
We would love to get to a point where we have Metal Mobile Tuesdays, and every Tuesday we're dropping a new set of apps and people are rushing to the store to find out what they are.
Given the way the app market is booming, that might happen sooner than they expect. Coming up, Apple, the darling of the app world, isn't necessarily everybody's favorite. And later, are apps just a fad, or are they here to stay? For more information, go to planetoftheapps.cnbc.com.
Big Brother is watching. Emails, searches, phone calls.